Oh, do I feel good today? What is up, DTL Universe? Welcome into your daily sports and sports betting brand of a record. We call it Driving the Line. We are here every day live at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Do not forget, we are also on stadium platforms at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Amazon Prime, DirecTV now, YouTube TV, Roku TV, etc., etc. Also, tonight, we are back live at 7 Eastern, also on all of the stadium platforms, and for you degenerates that watch right here on our YouTube channel as well. It is Prime Time Live. Tonight, the 8-2 Pittsburgh Steelers take on the 2-8 Cleveland Browns. There's a lot to break down over the course of the next 60 minutes, and also 60 minutes tonight on Prime Time Live. Now, as always, we look back before we look forward. And how did we do yesterday? A ho-hum day. We had several futures because you guys know how Tommy and Vince Russo do it. So very small daily picks. That will change today. So 2 and 3, not much there. Now, we have an entire schedule. It's a vibe here at DTL. And all you need to do is subscribe to our YouTube channel, turn on your notifications, because every single time something comes out, like DTL, the podcast, you will be notified. Audio, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. The video for you premium members out there, and there are many of you now. I see a lot of the OGs in the chat. Hit that like button for me. Howie was the leader of the OGs. And the crew play of the day, we're going to Thursday Night Football. Steelers, -3.5. That number's gone up. Started at 3 earlier this week. Browns, +3.5. Or are we going to attack the very low total of 36.5? Or are we going to go under 36.5? tonight? All right. All the housekeeping is done. And you know I got the best crew in the game. It's almost an embarrassment of riches. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, it is time for the picks. Shout out to Sean. He says, hit that like button, smash it. And I need everybody to do that. All right, look who I have. Quickly, we go around the horn. He is live from Dallas, Fort Worth. He just got back from the club a couple of hours ago. He is young Peyton. Peyton, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. It's a great day today, guys. Just not because of my picks today, but it's the last day of class before Thanksgiving break, so I am pumped. I'm ready to go home, have a home-cooked meal. Let's go.
Wow, me too. Just don't knock on my front door. I don't have any food for you, young Peyton. Don't have any food for you. All right, next. He doesn't even remember college. He is our numbers guy, Rafael Esparza. Good morning, Rafael.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. I actually never went to college, so I had no student loans, no nothing, but I did miss the party life of college, so I am a little bummed. I am jealous of the youngster above me.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have been all over that party life in college, Raphael.
I've been booking in college. I get rich.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what you've been in. Go down to room 209. Next, he is the only 5-star chef in the game. Seabass, how good of a mood are we in today, sir?
Coach, good morning. Good morning, crew. I'm always in a good mood, Coach. Always. I'm always in a good mood. But what I don't understand, Raphael, what do you mean you missed the party scene? Did you live in Vegas?
Now, when you're working, you don't party that much when you're working in casinos.
Fair.
That is very true. It's a misconception. It's a misconception. All right, finally, a lot of drama going on surrounding his game last night. He is the host of the Grizzlies post-game show there in Memphis, Tennessee, and he's a big part of the crew here. DG, good morning.
Morning, Coach. Good morning, crew. Excited to be here. It's Thursday. It's kind of heading into the weekend. There's a lot of, we'll say, unneeded drama last night with the Philadelphia 76ers. So we'll get into that definitely, but I can't wait to hit on it.
All right, let's do it. By the way, Soupy, part of the crew, is in the chat, and he's taking strays, apparently, at Raphael today. He says Raphael would have been turning down the music at the party. Oh, Soupy, hardcore trash talk right there. Oh, hardcore trash talk right there. Holy Christ. All right, quickly, normally on Thursdays. That's all right, Peyton. You can laugh. I'm funny. Normally we start with Thursday Night Football. Normally, that is the big story. But, DG, we got to give respect where respect is due. I lived for over 10 years when I was at ESPN, about 25 miles from this campus. And he was a god then. He's a god now. And last night, Gino Auriemma, all the way to the top of the mountain, 1,217 wins, the all-time winningest coach in the history of NCAA basketball, men's or women's. The numbers are staggering, and he's got to be given his props. Yes?
He's the ultimate GOAT. He's been there so long, but man, it's hard to continue to do the same job for any job, coaching, whatever. Do the same job over and over again and still kind of just get the numbers and get the positive energy, get the wins. Everything that he's doing, he's also just growing and kind of attributing to the success of human beings. And I think that's what you look at with UConn is he's growing these young girls into women and helping them kind of put them out into the right, I guess, the forefront of, the world. And it's been very good. So props and flowers all to Gino Auriemma.
Yeah, really good take. And here at DTL, that's kind of what we're trying to build in all seriousness, is not just a sports betting show, but looking at really good sports stories. And Seabass, when you look at Gino, 23 Final Fours. Are we kidding ourselves? 15 of the last 16 seasons, they have gone to the Final Four. I don't care if there's less players. This is still an unreal accomplishment.
Oh, 100% unreal accomplishment. I mean, consistency at its finest, right? To be able to do that year after year, it's one thing to be able to bring in the great players every year to build that program, but for himself, right, finding that energy and drive to continue to be great. Not many people have that. DG alluded to it earlier, just being in the same job. I hate my job every 3 years. I want to change it. So, yeah.
That is shocking. That is absolutely shocking to me, Seabass.
I get bored. ADD, man. I need something else. Bored.
Raphael, we're talking almost 40 years. And you have been there since before you could even bet on women's basketball. And you see how far it's come. And now I don't think that this record, certainly in our lifetime, is going to be broken, maybe ever.
You're right. And this record, no way even close going to be broken. I was the first odds maker to put up WNBA lines, so I'm kind of like the GOAT of women's sports betting. But I like what Gino has done, not on the coaching side, but what he's done with these ladies. I mean, you have never heard not one negative thing that's ever come out of his locker room, what he's done in the past. He's just been there for these girls and turning them into women. It's just outstanding to see the love that he gets every time he breaks a record and all the women come back to praise him. I think that's probably the biggest shocker. Another one, he's coached almost 40 years and only 4 seasons, 30 wins or less out of those 40 years. That's amazing what he has done in UConn.
Yeah, last night they win by 44 over Farley Dickinson. Mark, Better Days Ahead, said, my first technical foul as an official given in NCAA women's basketball was given to Gino. How about that? And right now, Soupy's head is exploding because we know him. UConn, the world began and ended with UConn basketball. Quickly, let's shift over. Young Peyton, tonight is Thursday Night Football. I know you're all over it. Coming up in about 25 minutes from right now, we're going to have your latest prize picks in the game tonight. But Pittsburgh, is this a look-ahead spot? Because the number now has gone to 3.5, but it's a road game, a division game, all of that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are a little obsessed with the under in this game and not a lot of scoring. I think people are forgetting that Pittsburgh is a really good football team. They're playing really well right now, moving the ball great, throwing the ball, running the ball. Najee Harris has been great. I'm riding the Najee train tonight, so you'll see that in my picks later. But I definitely like Pittsburgh to score the football tonight. And I do like it being a close game, so I really wouldn't touch the spread, though.
Big Cheesy says Peyton analysis is top-notch. I think we like the word great today, huh, DG?
I think so. I think it's great. Great to be great today.
What's great?
You can continue, DG. That was kind of like your
Sorry, my bad. Yes, so there's going to be a lot of rain tonight, and it's not as much as we think because it only is going to be a half to 3/4 of an inch. But that is kind of a lot during a football game. And so that's what worries me just a tiny bit on any of these plays. And so I do not have any Thursday night football plays so far because I kind of want to see a little bit more of the weather as we go throughout the day. But tonight could be a little sloppy. That could play into your thinking if you're betting. So just kind of something to think about.
And that's exactly why we have Primetime Live tonight, right before the game. So you may want to hold off whenever there's a little bit of weather. Seabass, your take on the game tonight, then we got to get to our picks.
Mike Tomlin hasn't fared well in these sorts of games over his career, but I think this is an opportunity for Pittsburgh tonight to really put a clamp on the division title for them. This puts them, I think if they win tonight, it's a 3-game lead over Baltimore, which puts them in a great spot. So I like Pittsburgh to really come out and show us what they can do against a terrible Cleveland team.
Oh, they are terrible. Shout out to Paris. As long as we win more than we lose, I might have a bed to sleep in tonight. Somebody's listening. Somebody is listening to the show. All right, Raphael, let me come over to you because everybody has 2 picks today, and I would love for you to start right now.
We're going to college football where hopefully we'd see no rain in this game, but Georgia Tech team total under 32.5 minus 120. It doesn't matter rain, sleet, or snow. This team cannot score points as of late. 32.5. I thought this number was way too high. You can alternate this one to 33.5 and only lay $1.30. So I was a little bit shocked on that one. Yellow Jackets have hit this prop in 3 straight games and only averaging 27 points a game this season. My next one, Najee Harris over 17.5 rushing attempts minus 120. Weather is going to be the big key in this one. We might even see a couple snow flurries if the weather keeps on dropping in Cleveland the longer this game goes. I think we're going to see a run-happy game.
Did you say snow flurries?
Yes.
We're going to see snow flurries?
Yes. It's a Midwest thing, Coach. Called snow flurries.
I grew up in the Midwest. You know that. Mister, I can't get my box right. All right, now.
Yeah, wow.
DG, let's come over to you. What do you got?
We're going to go to the Shriners Children's Classic in Charleston. Yeah, it's a mouthful. But this is in the TD Arena, which is important because it only seats 5,000 people. And if you're wondering about why, it's because of the depth perception. Small arenas, Coach knows all about playing in small arenas as well as performing in bingo halls. So we're going to go with the first game, and it's a noon Eastern start. It's Miami team total over 75.5. It's at minus 110. Miami's a high-powered offense. So I want to go up and down. Drake, however, is the opposite. I think Miami prevails here. We're going to go for them for 76 points at minus 110. The second game in that same tournament, we're going to go Oklahoma State FAU over 161.5 at minus 105. It's the second game at 2:30 start on 2:30 Eastern start. That is an incredible up and down game. Look for that to go over the 161.5.
Yeah, I will handle you in a second. That's what happens when you try to take a shot. Then you stumble all over your picks because you're thinking, how is Coach going to get at me? All right, 40 seconds for each guy. Seabass, 2 in 40 seconds. Go.
2 in 40 seconds, Coach. I already touched on the Steelers. We'll keep it with the Steelers minus 3.5 tonight. I just think this is a spot for them where they really got to show out. Even if the weather's bad, they held the Ravens offense to 16 points last week and won with field goals. Cleveland can't even score 15 points themselves. So game 2, NHL Zach Hyman, under 2.5 shots on goal at plus money tonight. First Minnesota, he's done this in 4 of his last 5, 8 of his last 10. Minnesota doesn't really give up a lot of shots on goal per game. So let me get his under at plus money.
Young Peyton, same thing, 45 seconds.
Pittsburgh, I'm taking total points. I'm taking them to score 20 tonight. In 10 games, the Browns have only held one team to under 20, and that was the Jaguars, who last time I checked stink, and they put up a whopping 6 points against the Lions last week. I'm also going to take the Lakers to cover at minus 4.5 at minus 108. The Magic are going to be coming off a back-to-back game tonight. Anthony Davis is questionable, but if he does play, Goga Batadze is not going to be able to guard him one-on-one. They're going to have to double him, and that'll leave guys like Dalton Connect open, who's had 37 against Utah. I love it when him and Austin Reeves are on the floor at the same time. The Lakers supporting cast has been playing great lately, and that's why I like them to cover.
Oh, I like that a lot. Coming up in about 20 minutes also, young Peyton will have his latest prize picks for you as we delve a little bit more into Thursday Night Football and play the overs and the unders. We're just getting started. It's a vibe on a Thursday, and I feel good about that vibe. Coming up next, college football front and center. DG squad winning this weekend. We'll talk about it. It's DTL. Beautiful Thursday morning. All right, we have something serious going on in the chat. Degenerates. You guys know who I'm talking to. DG, I want your take on this. Robert Bibbo, our resident benefactor. He says this: I just want to see a shave the head versus shave the beard between Soupy and Peyton showdown. That would be fun. Do you think young Peyton would put the lettuce on the line?
Zero chance either one would do that. There is no way that I don't want to see Soup. I don't want to see more of Soupy. Like if we're saying, hey, let's let Soupy grow the hair out versus Peyton grow a beard, that would be more fun because I don't want the opposite.
Interesting. Seabass, your thoughts?
I'm with DG. I don't know that either of them would be willing to. I mean, lifestyle choice for sure, but I don't know if it works for everyone, you know?
Yeah, I feel you. Raphael.
It's never going to happen. I mean, I can put odds on it, but we'll probably get no action. I'll be refunding the tickets, but it won't happen.
So, Peyton, what would it take to put the lettuce on the line, courtesy our resident benefactor's idea?
Man, we're not putting no lettuce on the line, Coach. I'm in college, man. Come on, I got 2 years left.
Told you.
What the hell does how many years left in college have to do with putting your reputation so clear? Here's what I'm hearing.
Coach, girls.
I'm aware of why he doesn't want to do it, Seabass. This plays into my narrative, however. I am hearing that he is scared of Soupy. That's what I hear.
True.
I hear scared. I'm not confident in my picks. Soupy could be the prize picks king. That's all I heard, Peyton. Did I hear the wrong thing?
Yeah, you did. Because Tuesday I did not play. I mean, I gotta get some points back for that. I think I'm down 1 right now to Soupy. So I mean, that was a tough one.
Prize pick tattoo bet.
Oh, fascinating. Rob says I'm laughing like crazy. I can't blame Peyton there. Oh no. All right. May have to call your dad. We'll see. All right, it's a vibe on a Thursday. Damn it, do I love doing this show. We are back in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It is a vibe on a Thursday. Do not forget, tonight, 7 Eastern, it is prime time on Stadium. And also, if you want to watch on our YouTube channel, it is simulcast, Amazon Prime Video, DirecTV, YouTube TV. We have grown up just a little bit. Now, DG was not on the show yesterday, and we didn't even get to the games because there was so much college football talk. So I thought it might be appropriate right here, right now, to kind of look at some of the big games because 2 days early, it never hurts. And DG, you've been riding this train. We've been cashing tickets in all different ways, but now the rubber meets the road, and your Indiana Hoosiers put everything on the line because I think if they lose, they will be on the outside looking in of the playoffs. Your thoughts?
It all depends on how they lose. If they lose, I'll have a play on this game definitely tomorrow on the show. I'm between 2 different factors of how to attack this game, but Indiana is going against an Ohio State team that is better than them. Let's just be honest. But they're also without their center, and that's going to affect them in Ohio State. And so Indiana having a bye week to prepare for Ohio State, you can Google it. You can Google it all day because I think Kirk Cignetti gets his team to come out and play very tough from the start. I think this game is much closer than the books even realize.
Yeah, and he just got an 8-year extension, Seabass. This Indiana team, this is by far, and I hope the pressure doesn't get to them, by far the biggest game in the history of their university.
Right.
For their football program, yes, Coach, it is. I think they have a few basketball national championships. But since we're talking about football, I'll stick there. It is a huge game. Well, Coach, you said the university. So anyway, it's a big game, but I disagree with DG. I think whoever loses this game is definitely out. It's not an if. It's a definite. But I think that week off does benefit Indiana. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it will be closer than what the books think as well. But, I mean, whoever loses, you're out. I'm sorry.
It does seem like a big number. It really does, Raphael. And when you're talking about 12.5, it is about style points. That's kind of where we're at because Indiana, all of their wins have come against the bottom of the Big Ten. They played none of the guys at the top. And I think that's going to prove to be a factor if they come in with a loss. If they win, then it's clear sailing because they got Purdue and then the Big Ten championship. And then I think if they made it there undefeated, it wouldn't matter if they win or lose.
It seems like it's a big number, but it's even bigger as we speak right now because a couple of shops have 13.5 on this game.
Wow.
We will see a 14 pop up by kickoff. I wish this was like maybe a 2:30 or an evening game because I would love to see what the number would be then, since it's a horrible noon start on Fox. But this is going to be a fantastic game. I like the plus points in here. I'm not sold on this Ohio State team. I've seen better Buckeye teams in the past. This Indiana team is just riding momentum right now. It's going to be a much closer game. I'm just blown away that almost 90% of the action is coming in on the Buckeyes. Have they watched them play? If you're Indiana, just even if you lose this game, you can still rebound and just beat Purdue. They're going to be in a college playoff. Maybe because they're not in the SEC, but they will be in a college playoff.
Wow. Interesting. Young Peyton, what do you make of what Raphael just said? Regardless, win or lose, they're going to get in.
I'm putting myself in a corner here, Coach. I don't believe in Indiana. The donut looks great, but I mean, look at the teams that are playing. Washington, who's 6-5, Michigan, who we all know stinks this year, and they only beat them by 5. This is going to be an Ohio State statement game, and I know it's a big number, but I think they're going to cover.
Young Peyton laying the 13 or 13.5, or if you wait until Saturday, a 14, as Raphael said. Now, is it fair that Army, who is still undefeated, and they are in that non-Power 5 DG conversation, but we've got Boise State that's ahead of them, and if Army wins this week, they could knock Notre Dame out and still not get in. It's an interesting position.
Army is very underrated. The time that they didn't look as good, they were without their quarterback. He's back. They're playing much better football. I think Notre Dame is so overrated. They lost to Northern Illinois. They haven't beat anybody this season. Just because they wear the Golden Dome is the only reason they're getting respect. Of the 14.5, give me the hook. Give me the plus 450 on Army with a big upset this weekend.
Wow. Let's go to Seabass now. Army getting it done, according to DG.
DG, I was looking over your notes there, and I was right there with you until Army wins outright. I don't think Notre Dame is that good, but Army, I don't know that they're hanging with Notre Dame. I think it would be a great story, but there's always somebody on the outside looking in, Coach, who we think should be there. But, hey, play in a better conference if you want to get in, right?
Or how about play in a conference if you're Notre Dame? I mean, they have one chance, Raphael, to get in, while everybody else has two, because they have a championship game to play in the other 4 conferences. And Notre Dame at some point, I believe, will be forced to do that.
They will, but I just love how I just heard the cash register just ching when Notre Dame just cashed that Peacock contract because they're not in the conference. Be afraid for this one. We all thought Notre Dame was going to struggle against Navy, and Notre Dame whooped up on Navy. So it's going to be very interesting. I think Notre Dame wins. I don't think they cover this one. I think the number will stay between 14, have not that much line movement. It is an evening game, so keep an eye out for the total. I think this total goes up to like maybe 46.
And that is kind of rare in Notre Dame. They don't do a ton of evening
and it's
games.
In New York. It's in Yankee Stadium. Finally, the Yankee fans get to see a winner.
Ouch.
Where's Tommy?
Ouch. Young Peyton, I know by the time this game starts, you'll be primping. You'll be throwing on all the cologne, whatever the kids wear these days.
The Riz.
I'm gonna be sitting and watching. I'm gonna be sitting and watching Notre Dame cover, Coach. I mean, the Army team they've beaten North Texas 14-3. I mean, what a boring game. They don't look great. Army's 9-0. Again, another donut. Great on paper, but these teams, Notre Dame, Ohio State, they need to win by big points to show people they're dominant college football teams, and that's why I think they're both gonna cover this weekend.
Big Cheesy says, W Riz. I'm the only one of the cool kids that understands what you're saying, Peyton. That's why you and I connect. I mean, the other 3, we're so far past where they were cool. I get it. Joe says, sup, Peyton? Laugh my ass off, Coach. Maddie says, really good chat today. We'll leave that BYU game alone for now because Colorado controls their destiny in the Big 12. BYU still up there despite losing last week to Kansas. But there are a couple of other topics that we've got to get to. It's time to educate, entertain. I'm devastated right now. Pat in the chat, who I thought was a friend of the show. He says, Coach reminds me of the Boom guy. Sadly, not a compliment. LOL. Wow. Compare me to the Costco guys on perhaps the worst wrestling show I've ever seen last night in AEW. I've got to watch for my job. Pat, that hurts. It really, really hurts. It does. However, DG, it's going to hurt this new little 3-on-3 league that's going on for the women starting January 17th in Miami, because Caitlin Clark says, I'm not going to do it. She's going to be busy with speaking engagements. Her team around her has her booked solid. She was offered over to $1 million to play in said league. Do you agree with her decision?
I do agree. I don't think it's about the money right now for her. I think what she's getting endorsement deals is kind of bridging the gap of what she really needs to make. I think she's about growing her stardom right now. And because of that, it's off the court, injury free. That way she can go into next season and won't have anybody saying that, hey, she got injured or because she played in this, she's not doing as good this year. So I think that's the whole reason. They're
doing this, Seabass, to try to get women to avoid going overseas to make the big money. Because in the NBA, hell, we saw Angel Reese, your girl, complaining that she didn't even make enough to pay her rent. And then we found out her rent is $8,000 a month. Oh, first world problems. But for Caitlin Clark, she makes millions. And so it almost kind of makes sense that she wouldn't want to risk her health, because all of those millions are based off of her actually playing now.
Yeah, I would have to agree. As much as I think it would be great for the 3-on-3 league to see her in there, it's a smart move on her part, her team coaching her well to be like, hey, focus on the WNBA season. That's where we're growing this brand. And I think Angel Reese's comments taken a little bit out of context, Coach. Her WNBA contract doesn't cover her rent. She's doing very well in endorsement deals if you check out the Reese posts.
Whoa. It was not taken out of context because I watched the entire thing. I watched the whole thing. No, that's exactly what she said.
Her contract doesn't cover her rent. Not that she can't cover her rent.
I understand that, but she was complaining because she doesn't make enough to cover her rent. And she didn't talk about the millions that Reebok's playing her, that Shaq calls her every single day, and all that stuff that she has that she doesn't deserve, like the Phantom from Seabass. Raphael, let me come over to you, because Caitlin Clark, she's a bona fide superstar in the world of sports now. She damn near killed somebody at a Pro-Am the other day for the LPGA, which is right out by where I was at. But when she decides to not do something this big that could lead to women not having to go to Russia and all these other places to play, that's kind of a big deal. Do you feel like she owes it to the other women to play in this thing?
No, she doesn't owe them. I just think they just look to swing big for the fence and try to get Caitlin Clark to agree on this one, because they're going to get a TV rights deal with this 3-on-3. I'm hearing ESPN or ESPN2 will probably show these games, so that's more exposure for women's basketball. But they just went for the fences, missed. They'll be all right.
Better days ahead said Seabass equals Reese's defense attorney. Kind of feels that way, doesn't it, Mark? Let me come over to you. Peyton, you are in the college demographic. Has she resonated enough to pull the women's game here in the States and make 3-on-3 a viable thing, even if she doesn't play?
Yeah, I mean, there's also a shout out to Haley Van Lith, our TCU. Well, I got my TCU shirt on today. Our TCU who played 3-on-3 last year. She kind of made a big name for herself in that tournament. And Caitlin Clark's already done that for herself, so she doesn't need to do it. She doesn't owe it to anybody. She's an amazing player, and she does need to just focus on the WNBA season. So it's a good move on her part, and she needs to get going with the Indiana Fever so they can start winning some games. So I can see her in the playoffs.
I thought maybe you had a deal with Nike. All we saw was the Nike thing.
Yeah, no, I put it on the wrong side. My bad. I got it right here.
Those cameras, they get me every time. I don't know where I'm pointing.
Yeah. By the way, John says, I'm here for more Seabass coach disagreements. Laughing my ass off. Hey,
Same.
It's all real. We really despise each other. Can't you tell? It's all real.
Terrible.
All right, still to come. We're about halfway home here on DTL on a Thursday. God, it's going to be a great sports day today. Still to come, we're playing over-unders. We got prize picks. And what is LeBron James doing? It's next, DTL on a Thursday. Okay, you degenerates out there that watch on our YouTube channel, don't forget every time you come in, just hit the like button and then just start chatting away as you guys always do. Jason in the chat says the other women in WNBA hate her all year, now complain that she isn't helping them make more money. That's kind of how it feels a little bit as far as the reactions are concerned. DTL boxing night, Coach versus Seabass, DG and Soupy, Raphael against technology.
Wow.
Raphael, your thoughts?
I have no words. No words. The hat's off. That was a good one. I'll give you that one. Well said.
Oh, my gosh. Brian says she doesn't owe anyone anything. She might need the rest. She went straight from the national title to the WNBA. That's a good point, DG. She had no time off just because how the schedule and the league matches up.
Absolutely. And then you're talking about all of the endorsement stuff that she's doing, all these appearances. She's got to be gassed. And I know that she wants to lead into that a little bit and grow her stardom in a sense. But, man, she has to be tired and kind of reset button this year. And, it'll be very good for her in the future to kind of have a slower, kind of more quiet summer.
Okay, a little slower, quiet summer in the winter. Big Cheesy, I'm here for Coach catching strays. Being compared to the Costco guy. Ha, 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 that was good, Pat. Yeah. And then Jason says, I wonder if Coach can do their stupid little song and dance. We beat the boom. That's what we do. Oh, my God. It's so annoying. It is so annoying.
Can't believe you just did that.
I did, and I'm proud of it. Last night, the big announcement they made on AEW Dynamite, they're like, who do we want to ring the bell? This is why AEW is like the worst. The worst. They have the younger son, the Rizzler. You probably know him, Peyton. Rizzler. He's like 12, 11.
Just because it has Riz in it does not mean I know.
There is no Riz to this.
I wasn't even bringing up you saying the Riz. I was talking about the Rizzler because of the age. Okay.
Oh.
Nobody's following me.
I was there, Coach. I was there. I knew where you were going.
Seabass.
I don't even watch AEW. I don't even know what AEW is. That's root beer, right?
Apparently, neither does anybody else. We're back in 5 seconds. Okay, welcome back, everybody. It is DTL on a Thursday. So far, so good today. A lot of laughs, a lot of learning, and as we cross the bottom of the hour, coming up in a couple minutes, we're going to play over-under. Also, where is Peyton going with his prize picks for Thursday Night Football? But first and foremost, I just wanted to tick Seabass off one more time, because last night, apparently, he doesn't like being called a liar. So LeBron James has said, I am leaving social media. Deuces with the emoji. He's done for a man who lives on social media, who craves social media. Seabass, are we worried that we've lost the oldest player in the NBA and all of his wisdom that he puts out on the X?
Coach, the way you feel about Angel Reese is the way I feel about LeBron James. Why does he need to tell us this every single year? Just go away. It'll be fine. We'll see when you come back. It's really like, why not just tell me you need to go to the bathroom? I don't care. I don't care that you're not on social media for the rest of the basketball season.
Let's see. I didn't have that on my bingo card today, but okay. That's the bottom left-hand corner. DG, let me come over to you, because LeBron right now, and it's kind of starting to feel like these NBA players are taking a lot of things personally. Kevin Durant and now LeBron James, no social media, and you're making over $50 million a year. I think be a little bit less. If you're called a liar, you know what he was called a liar for, by the way?
I have not heard this.
His perception is because he was talking about watching Dalton Connect last year in college, and everybody said, you didn't watch Dalton Connect in college. You're lying about that. And I'm like, that's what bothers you? That's what bothers you? Your thoughts?
I understand maybe wanting to leave and kind of dedicate your time to, the game, right? If you want to make sure you're pouring that into your life, but why not just have your PR team just send out some tweets, some highlight videos here and there, and then you just kind of walk away while you're still active. There's a smarter way of doing this besides looking like a clown. Why don't you bring a bigger book to your next press conference so we can all make fun of you then?
Sean says he wants someone to say, no, don't go. It kind of feels that way, Peyton, for a billionaire, all-time leading scorer in the NBA. He moves the needle. Does it seem a little petty? Maybe.
Yeah. This is kind of like me tomorrow or sending out a text tonight before I go to bed and say, hey, guys, I'm going to wear a brown shirt tomorrow. I'm just going to let everyone know I'm wearing a brown shirt and maybe a hat. Like it's just one of those things that you don't really need to put out. I just don't get why he did. Like, that's one of those decisions where you go to bed, you wake up, you say, okay, I'm going to take a break from social media. You don't need to tell anybody.
Yeah, I've got a decision to make too. Peyton will not be in any reels or shorts today. All right, Raphael, let me come over to you. Your thoughts on LeBron going nowhere but out?
The king loves attention, and what are we talking about right now in the Lakers? A rookie from Tennessee shooting the lights out. That's all we're talking about. He put that thing out there so we can talk about him today and tomorrow, just because a rookie is taking all the sunshine in LA right now.
Yeah, he is. He's on I've got local on right now. I love Channel 2 out here, but everything is LeBron all the time. And it is this morning. All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. All right, now every single Thursday, we have added young Peyton. Great addition to the team. Love him. And there's a lot of things that I don't know how to do. So I said, Peyton, this is what you're going to do. So you're going to be seeing TikTok videos every Tuesday and Thursday, and also prize picks. We are leaning in because it's very simple to do. We love them, and we certainly hope that they come on board sometime soon. But Peyton, tonight, do you need a bounce back from Tuesday? I didn't look. Did Subi beat you?
I do.
You do need a bounce back.
I need a bounce back. Yep.
All right, let's give the bounce back. Are we going 2-play tonight? Goblin, Demon, what are we doing?
2-play tonight, just some 2 regular old picks that'll triple your money if you take both of these. So I'm going to go with Najee Harris, more than 68.5 rushing yards. Pittsburgh's going to be feeding Najee tonight because the Browns allow 132 yards per game on the ground. He's averaging more than 4 yards per carry, and in 3 of his last 5 games, he's put up more than 100 yards rushing. Take Najee over tonight. He should hit this without a problem. Nick Chubb, I'm also going to go less than 52.5 rushing yards. Pittsburgh allows 90 yards a game on the ground. That's the 4th best in the NFL. And just to put this into perspective, from a few weeks ago, the Bengals allow 130 yards on the ground. And in that game, Chubb rushed for 11 times for only 22 yards. That's just 2 yards per carry. He hasn't gotten more than 50 in his last 4 games. He's not going to get this tonight because they're going to be down. Take the less than on Nick Chubb.
I never thought that I would say this.
Seabass batting 100 today.
He's on fire right now. All right. It's time to play. We'll see how this goes. Over and under. We have 6 rounds, and it will get everybody's appetite really flowing for Thursday night football. Producer man, let's start with the quarterbacks tonight. DG, I'm going to start top left with you. Are we going over or under a man who's won 4 games in a row as a starter, Russell Wilson?
Russell Wilson goes over tonight. I know that there is weather there, but I think that he somehow finds his speedy receivers. It's going to be less completions, but more passing yards.
I like Russell Wilson to go over as well. It's a good number there. They're going to stretch the field a little bit. I know we talked about weather, but I like Russell Wilson and his over tonight.
184.5 seems very low, but I'm going lower. I don't think he does this. I think it's going to be a run-happy game for Pittsburgh. I'm going under 184.5.
I do think it's going to be a run-happy game, but I'm going to go with him to go over this. The number is really low, and I do see a couple of big plays tonight.
Shout out to Kevin. He says, no mic mutes today. Great job, guys. Unless when you're supposed to hit the mute button, it's a reverse thing. Thank you, Kevin. Now, let's go to the other side. Jameis Winston. We love him. I cannot believe, DG, we have these 2 numbers to deal with tonight. But alas, we do. Over, under.
The numbers are incredibly low for both guys. I'm going to go over, and that surprises myself here, but I'm going to go over on Jameis Winston just because I think they're going to be playing from behind, and he wants to throw so much. I'm going to go over on Jameis.
I like the under on Jameis Winston today. I know that Pittsburgh defense is tough. Cleveland's going to be behind. They're going to have to throw the ball, but I like that Pittsburgh defense. I don't see Jameis Winston getting over that low number of 216.
Famous Jameis at 216.5. Give me the over. I can smell upset as well. I would not be shocked if Cleveland wins this game. I think over is the play.
I think they're going to be losing in this game, but I think he's going to hit this low line late in the game when they're throwing the ball. I think he just had 395 in their last blowout game. So.
Look at Peyton bringing all the work today, bringing all the whatever it is. All right, let's switch over now to the running backs. And several of my guys love them some Najee Harris today. DG, his number is set at 67.5 over under.
This was a tough one for me because I want to go over, but I'm going to go under on this. Somehow, some way, I think Najee goes under the 67.5.
I like Najee Harris to go over the 67.5 yards today. I think Pittsburgh is going to want to eat up that clock. They want to dominate the game today. They want to show everyone that they're that first place team, and they're going to rely on Najee Harris and his running yards tonight.
Give me the over as well, 67.5. Some shops right now have 68.5, and I think once they see the weather, the run-happy game, this one probably would keep on climbing upwards.
I compare him. Sorry, Peyton, go.
I would honestly take the alternate line, maybe 80 plus, because I think he's going to have a big night tonight. He had 100 yards plus in his last 3 of his last 5 games, and I think they're going to be up in the game. And given the weather, I like him running the ball a lot.
That will cost me a membership. I'm going to penalize myself. All right, Nick Chubb on the other side. His number is 52.5, DG.
Nick Chubb on the under on his rushing yards, but a guy that I'm going to target is Jerome Ford for his receiving yards, but I'm going to go under on Nick Chubb.
I'm going to take Nick Chubb and under the 52.5 yards. If Cleveland's behind and going to throw the ball, he's not going to get that many carries tonight to be able to run the ball. Plus, that Pittsburgh defensive line is tough, so give me Nick Chubb and his under.
I like famous Jameis over. I like Nick Chubb under, and that's the reason why I think he goes under. They're going to be passing a lot in Cleveland.
I know this number's low for Nick Chubb, who's one of the big names at running back position, but I like him going under this spot because I never feel comfortable taking a running back of the team that I think is going to be losing tonight.
It's always a tough one because you go away from the running game so quickly when you're behind, which just kind of feels like the narrative. All right, finally, on the receiving side, 2 really good ones. Let's start with the dynamic Steelers receiver, George Pickens, DG.
George Pickens to the moon. I love George Pickens tonight. I don't think this happens with a lot of receptions. I think he gets a long ball. I love his over 23.5 longest reception, but I'm going to go over on the total yards as well.
If I like Russell Wilson to go over on his passing yards, I've got to take Pickens to go over on his receiving yards as well. Like I said, they're going to stretch the field. I'm going to see it with Pickens. I like his over.
Over 59.5 seems like the great play here because I think he's going to be targeted a lot through the air with Russell Wilson. So 59.5 seems kind of low. Probably be around 61 by the time the game goes.
Yeah, I love these lower numbers tonight, given just because they think they could do it because of the weather. I like a big reception for Pickens. I think he's 5 for 5 in his last 5 games for a reception over 23.5 yards.
Now, last week, Jerry Jeudy went bananas. 10 seconds for each. Go, DG.
I don't feel good about this. I'm going to go under on the Jerry Jeudy train, under 46.5.
I don't like Jameis Winston tonight, so unfortunately, Jerry Jeudy's going to have a tough game. I'll take him under the 46.5.
I like the over 46.5. I like Judge Jeudy. I like Jerry Jeudy.
Hey, Pittsburgh's defense, I think, is too good to let Jerry Jeudy beat him. I think they're going to let maybe a 3 or a 4 receiver beat him tonight.
Judge Judy didn't have that on my bingo card today. I'm getting ready to have a really cool straight across the board on the second line on my bingo card today. Wow, what a day. All right, gentlemen, we almost did that perfectly. I made a mistake. A couple of you made a mistake. Let's meet in the middle. The real question is, does Coach like any of the unders that hammer that one? You know I hate unders. I don't give a damn what game we're talking about. All right, having a good time today. Still to come on the show. If you weren't here at the top of the hour, don't even worry about it. We got you covered. And also, we look ahead to our next primetime game as well. It's a really pivotal week in the world of football, and it's never too early. That half a point, that 1 point, it means the world. It's DTL on a Thursday, and it's a vibe. All right, all you degenerates out there, OGs, we got to give our respect today, DG. The Major League Baseball has announced their Cy Young Award winners, and to nobody's surprise is Chris Sale and Tariq Skubal. But I'm not asking you about that. There's a report that came out that the Jets were thinking about benching Aaron Rodgers back in September. Do you think they will ever bench Aaron Rodgers this year or no?
When I heard that, I thought, I don't believe you. I don't believe it. I know that they're saying it and somehow it got put out there. I don't believe them because I don't think that kind of information would come out from the front office, not during the middle of the season.
Seabass.
They did fire their GM, and if you got an owner who wants the GM to do what he says to do and then he doesn't do it, maybe it does happen. I mean, why not? He doesn't look good.
Wow. It'd be interesting. Raphael.
I thought he ran the team, so you can't sit yourself down if you run the team. So, no, he's not going to sit down.
New nickname, King Lettuce. You're up.
King Lettuce. No, he's that's great. He's not leaving. No, he's not going to be sit out. He's going to be playing the rest of the season. They're not going to sit Aaron Rodgers. That's their guy.
Shout out to Matt. That's my guy. What a great new nickname for young Peyton. King Lettuce. And all the rest of us are very, very, very jealous. My goodness. You don't like that?
No, I'm saying I'm not jealous. I prefer this. I don't have to do anything with that in the morning. You know, that saves me 10 minutes a day not having to mess with that.
I have a feeling that his repertoire in the morning is a little longer than 10 minutes. Huh, Peyton?
Longer than 10 minutes? Shoot,
Yep.
Sometimes I kind of just roll out, Coach. I mean,
That's what he's got curly hair. It kind of it holds.
Yeah, you don't need to do anything
It's
with
different.
that.
Don't you hate guys with the it factor? You know, I mean, I can understand what Peyton. You just roll out and you just look like that. You're just like, man, I'm just me. I'm just King Lettuce.
shout out to my girl Lulu at Sports Clips.
We're back in 5 seconds. Welcome back. It is Driving the Line with the best crew in the business. Do not forget, we are all over Stadium at 4 o'clock Eastern today. Amazon Prime, DirecTV, YouTube TV. Producer man, I need my 5-shot because we have a little issue. It's been a fun day. We've had a lot of laughs, a lot of good picks, a lot of discussion, but I had no idea that Lulu from Sports Clips would make her appearance on the show. So, King Lettuce, do you want to give out a shout out on the show? Because that was during the break to the young lady who takes care of said lettuce, Lulu.
Of course, yeah. Shout out to Lulu, man. She gets me right. It's about 15 minutes. That's all it needs. You know, Peyton, how you doing? What can I get you? You know, Lulu, give me the special. Boom, done. It's great.
Scott says Coach Peyton is like the Fonz. It's Fonzie from a show called Happy Days, Peyton. He looks in the mirror and says, "Hey," and puts his comb down. If you know, you know.
Sports Clips.
Yeah. Raphael, you're not going to look like Peyton just because you go to Sports Clips.
I'm just looking for advertising money, Coach. I don't want to look like it. I'm just helping
Now
I'm
we're
helping the
talking.
brand.
Now we're talking. That's what I'm talking about. Speaking of the brand, guys. Wow, the brand came through your squad last night, DG. And despite 35 points, 11 rebounds, and 2 assists, Joel Embiid is pissed. And reportedly, he's pissed at Mr. Maxey because they had a team meeting. And I've never heard of this before. Apparently, the entire subject of said team meeting was talking to Embiid about participating on and off the floor. He had a great game last night, but have we reached a point that maybe Philadelphia needs to start thinking about something else because it's getting bad? And Paul George hyperextended his knee, so he's hurt again as well.
There's a lot of problems in Philly, and if you see them on the court together, it doesn't look good. And honestly, Joel Embiid doesn't look like himself. I think there's obviously chemistry issues, but I used the analogy last night on my my Grizzlies post-game show, and it's feeling like me sometimes. Like I get on the court and I'm playing these younger guys, and I do a little step back, I do a little turn, and then you think I can get an easy shot. This is my go-to move. But the defender is still there. They're still on you because you're not moving that fast anymore. You're not that good anymore. And that's what Joel Embiid looks like. It was a laboring, whatever he had, 30 and 11. It didn't look good. He ended up getting those points. But I think there's chemistry issues as well as his body is failing him right now.
And that's the thing when you're so big. I've worked with a couple of really large athletes in my day, and the knees go. And the hardest thing to do, Seabass, is to stay in shape if you're not out there constantly running like an NBA game. And this is what it looks like despite the numbers. He just looks like he's going downhill quickly.
Unfortunately, yes. So 35 and 11 last night. We'll see when the next time he plays. You know, he's got to recuperate, load management, or what do they call it? Not load management,
injury management.
Injury management. Yeah. He looks tired. He just looks tired. But, you know, if you eat as much fast food as AB does and you're not out there runing, I mean, that's bound to happen to you. You get slow, the knees hurt.
Wow, AB is catching strays today.
Even Patrick
AB is catching strays today. Raphael, your thoughts on the Sixers almost punting on the season already? And what are we, 10, 11 games in? If I'm in Philadelphia, I ain't happy. No! What are we doing? We almost made it to the end.
That's my bad.
God. Oh,
we're gonna hear trade talks all summer long with Embiid. I think Philadelphia is gonna blow up this team. Paul George will probably be gone. They're gonna have to start from scratch, and I'm already hearing right now that Embiid will be on the trade market all summer.
Speaking of the trading block, I'm going to call you better you bet as soon as we get off the air right now. That's all I know. Peyton, young Peyton, you're the NBA guy.
Yeah, if I was a Philly fan, I'd not be happy because they bring in Paul George. You're all excited for the season. And, I mean, I'm not going to lie, though. I knew it wasn't going to work either because all three of those guys are so ball dominant. And it off the court, if it's not working, that's just even worse. It's just brutal in Philly right now.
Boy, how's he pissed off at Maxey? Maxey's the dude that goes out there and balls out every single night. He's the one with the heart. He's the one with the guts. And you're going to be mad at Maxey because something leaked out? Apparently in that meeting, Maxey went directly at him. Like, I would have loved to have been in that meeting and watched that. He went directly at him.
That's what a leader does, Coach. That's what a leader does.
You're damn right. You're damn right. Wait till after the show. Dan says Maxey and McCain build around those two. Maybe something to think about. James says, I love you better you bet. Yeah, we lead right into them. We're the reason for their ratings on Stadium, if you guys didn't know that. It's called the proper lead-in at 4 to 5 Eastern time. Peyton, you learn stuff here you don't get in your class. You know, your professors that are still teaching about radio.
Radio history, Coach, not even radio. I mean, come on,
radio history. That's right. All right, we got to quickly do our little recap because a lot of you weren't here at 10 a.m. Eastern time, and that's okay. It's time for the whip around. All righty, DT, talk to me.
Yeah, we're going to go to the college game today. We're going to go Miami, team total over 75.5 at -110. And then Oklahoma State, FAU, the best game of the day. It's a 2:30 Eastern start, over 161.5, -105.
See, Bass.
Coach, we're going to ride this Steelers heater or the Browns dumpster fire, whichever one. But Steelers -3.5 tonight. And then in the NHL, Zach Hyman under 2.5 shots on goal versus the Minnesota Wild tonight.
Raphael.
Coach, I wish this show was another hour so I wouldn't get yelled at afterwards, but I'm taking Georgia Tech team total under 32.5. Their last 10 games, Georgia Tech's 8 of them have gone under their total. Give me Najee Harris over 17.5 rushing attempts, -120. Run happy game because of the weather.
Well, Matt does say someone's getting a free membership. Probably 2 or 3. We'll pay those off tonight because you got to be watching live on the show, and I'm not going to do it in the last 2 minutes. Young Peyton, talk to me.
Going with the Steelers over 19.5 points at -130. In 10 games, the Browns defense has held only one team to under 20 points, and that was the Jaguars, who stink. I'm going with the Lakers to win by 5 tonight and cover the spread at -110. The Magic are going to be coming off a back-to-back game where they played the Clippers last night and lost, and they're going to have to double Davis tonight. Dalton Connect's been awesome. The Lakers supporting cast has been playing great. That's why I like them to cover tonight with or without Anthony Davis.
Boom and boom. Two more housekeeping items. The Howie Schwab Crew Play of the Day that we're going to play together. Which one of you had the Steelers minus the 3.5? Who's on the Steelers? Seabass, they're believing in you because they have chosen the Steelers minus the 3.5 tonight as the Crew Play of the Day. So Seabass, he's going to be your leader tonight, everybody. And finally, we end every single show with Rafi's Stat of the Day. Where are we going today, Raphael?
Georgia Tech football has hit the under in 10 out of their last 12 games, and this total is dropping as I speak right now. So jump on it now.
Rafi's Stat is the wagon. Best segment of the day. That's from DG's boy, Big Cheesy.
I keep my job.
Joe says, I always believe in Seabass. Let's go, Seabass. I love that pick. Every compliment you get, Seabass, puts more and more pressure on those shoulders. Do you feel it?
No. No
Joel
pressure. No pressure.
Rob says, I love Rafi's Stat of the Day. So do we. All right, young Peyton, I only got 30 seconds. We won't see you till next Tuesday. We have a TikTok video out today, yes?
Yes.
DG, you got 30 seconds. Your final take on that? No. You don't need to lean into the microphone. Like, I can hear you just fine.
Well, I'm just checking if it's on.
Trust and believe it's on. DG 15.
I love the Rafi Stat of the Day. On Tuesday's show, when I gave out my pick, I didn't realize that was the stat. It was Kentucky that they cover. I don't exactly know what it was, but it backed me up, and they both cashed again. Love it.
It was the over, the Kentucky over. All right, gentlemen, it was a show. It was a show. All right, it's now time for you to all go out into the world. Pay it forward. Be kind to one another. Laugh at all of us. That's okay, because that's what we're here for. And understand that there's only one thing left to do. And I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. Ryan Tucker, Limo, the only 5-star chef of the game, Seabass. The numbers guy, my numbers guy, Raphael. Young Peyton, King Lettuce, and DG from Memphis, producer man. I'm simply Coach, trying to keep this train on said track. We grind for you so we can win with you. It's truly what we're all about right here at DTL. Good luck.